samsaradava nalalidaloka tranaya karuna gunaganatvam. Praptasya kalyana gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Varitra Madhyan Manasorasena. Romancha Kampa Shutaranga Vajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. Shri Vigraharadhana Nityananam Shingarathan Mandiram Arjunado. Yuktasya bhaktam sanyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. Chaturvida Shri Bhagavat Prasado Swadana Triptan Hari Bhaksha Sangram. Kritraiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. Shri Radhika Mandavayorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupanam Nam. Pratikshana Svadana Lulupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. Nikunjayono Ratikeli Sedhai Yayali Bir Yukti Rapikshaniyai. Tatrati Daksha Ativalabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. साक्षादरित्वेन समत्सशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भायतैव साधिर् किन्तु प्रभोर्या प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् यस्य प्रसाद भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसाद न गति कुतोऽपि जायं स्तुवां सत्रिसाद्यं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् 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 नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda Gadadhar Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Nila Madhava Radha, Nila Madhava Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Sitaram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Pad Barman Supervajik Chastatar Sutarashi Shishi Maris Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pararajika Chastatar Sutarashi Shishi Mad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Adanta Koti Vaishnava Vindi Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vindi Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Mayapura Dham Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Ganga Maya Ki Jai Jamuna Maya Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vindi Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Ki Jai. Namaste Narisinhaya Pralada Lada Dayani Hiranyakashipur Bhakshahai Shilatam Kanakalaye Anyaka Shipur Bhakshahai Shilatam Kalakalaye Ito Nishinga Padato Nishinga Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinga Nishinha Yidaye Nishinha Narashina Madin Saranam Prabhade Tavakara Kamala Bare Nakam Adbhuta Singham Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubingam Vishavadita Nararirupa Jai Jagadeshare Jai Jagadeshare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadeshare Jaya Jagadeshare Jaya Jagadeshare Jaya Narasingade, Jaya Narasingade, Jaya Narasingade, Jaya Narasingade. Haribo, Haribo, Gora Haribo, Nita Gora Haribo. Tagore Premanande Ki Jai. Vrindaye Tulsi Devai, Priyaye Kesavaisya Cha, Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi, Sachiratai Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devai, Priyaye Kesavaisya Cha, Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi, Sachiratai Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devai, Priyaye Kesavaisya Cha, Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi, Sachiratai Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai.
Radha Krishna Seva Pabo E Abhilasi Radha Krishna Seva Pabo E Abhilasi Yeto Mara Sharanaloy Tara Vancha Purna Hoy Kripa Kori Koro Tare Vrindavana Vasi Mora he apila Pilas kunje diova Nayane heri bosada Jugala ruparasi Eni vedana daro Sakira nugata koro Vedana daro Sevati kara diye koro nija dasi. Dina Krishna dase koi, eje namora hoi. Shri Radha Govinda preme sadayena basi. Yani kani cha papani Brahmatyadi kani cha Tani tani pranashanti Pradakshina pade pade. Yani kani cha papani Brahmatyadi kani cha Tani tani pranashanti Pradashina pade pade. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani. Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi.
Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Deva Priyaye Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyarata Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Deva Priyaye Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyarata Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. O Tulasi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has his wishes fulfilled. bestowing your mercy upon him, you make him a resident of Vrindavana. My desire is that you also grant me a residence in the pleasure groves of Sri Vrindavana Dham. Thus, within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the Father. Give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays may always swim in the love of Shri Radha and Govinda. Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shaira Kaira Vichandika Visaram. Kada Tavanamagrahane Bhavisyati Yugayitam Nimesena Chaksusapa Vrasayitam Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Aslishyava Padaratam Pinastumam Adarsanam Ramhato Karotuva Yata Tatava Vidatatu Lampato Mat Prananatastu Saeva Naparaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to the living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such state of mind one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen to this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, when my voice choke up, and when the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your holy name. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He's completely free to do anything and everything for me. He's always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting the holy names of the Lord that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy names of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, to be equal to and independent names of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. 5. To give some no holy name. 6. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name of the Lord. 8. Consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activities or karma kanda. 9. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions in this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desired trees that can fulfill the desires of everyone. And they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vanchakalpa Teravisha Kribasindhupiyavisha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Srimad Bhagavatam Grantha Raja Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmad Yasya Yato Niveyad Itaratas Charte Suavigya Swarat. Tene Brahma Hirdaya Adhikavaye Muyanti Yat Surayaha. Tejo Varimidam Yata Vinimaya Yatra Trisargo Misha. Damna Srena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. O my Lord, Shri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes, of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. And he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. As one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen on fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Dharma pujita kaitrovotra paramo nimatsaranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapa trayon mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vapurer Ishwaraha Sadyo Hridi Avarudyate Tra Krite Bihi Sususubis Takshanat. Completely reject all religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sukhamukad amrita dravya samyatam pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam mahur ahorasika bhuvi bhavakaha. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Shinvatam swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantaksto Bhadrani Vidunati Suhitsatam. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures, or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita, is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best-wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, text number 5. With great delight, they approached him. Pratyujagmu Paharsena Pranam Tanva Ivagatam Abhisangamyam Vidval Parishvanga Bivadanai. With great delight, they all approached him as if life had returned to their bodies. They exchanged obeisances and welcomed each other with embracements. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the absence of consciousness, the limbs of the body remain inactive. But when consciousness returns, the limbs and senses become active. And existence itself becomes delightful. Vidura was so dear to the members of the Kaurava family that his long absence from the palace was comparable to inactivity. All of them were feeling acute separation from Vidura, and therefore his return to the palace was joyful for all. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Well, why did Vidura leave the palace? Well, because Duryodhana insulted him, and his brother Dhritarashtra was not listening to him. And his brother actually admitted to him that he actually wanted war with the Pandavas. He was planning for it. And so it was very uncomfortable for Vidura. When a devotee is in association of people who are purposely doing wrong things, and especially planning to have war with the pure devotees like Yudhisthira Maharaj and Arjuna, Bhima, and Sahadev. Now, so it's very uncomfortable to be in such association. So he left, and now he's come back again. Because although he's not a direct heir to the kingdom, he had great affection for his brother and for his brother's sons, but when he saw that they were not listening, then he realized that he had no function there, so he left. So next verse, number 6. Mumuchu premabas pogam virhot kantya kataraha rajatam arhayam chakre kritasana parigraham. Translation. Due to anxieties and long separation, they all cried out of affection. King Yudhisthira then arranged to offer sitting accommodations and a reception. So we can see how appreciation for a genuine devotee, it goes very deep into the heart of a person. And due to anxieties and long separation, when they see such a person again, they cry out of affection. So, text 7. Tam bhuktavantam vishrantam asininam sukhamasane prashraya vanato raja praha tesam chashinvatam. After Vidura ate sumptuously and took sufficient rest, he was comfortably seated. Then the king began to speak to him, and all who were present there listened. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. King Yudhisthira was expert in reception also, even in the case of his family members. Vidura was well received by all the family members by exchange of embraces and obeisances. After that, bathing and arrangements for the sumptuous dinner were made, and then he was given sufficient rest. After finishing his rest, he was offered a comfortable place to sit, and then the king began to talk about all happenings, both family and otherwise. That is the proper way to receive a beloved friend, or even an enemy. According to Indian moral codes, even an enemy received at home should be so well received that he will not feel any fearful situation. An enemy is always afraid of his enemy, but this should not be so when he's received at home by his enemy. This means that a person, when received at home, should be treated as a relative. So what to speak of family member like Vidura, who was a well-wisher for all members of the family. Thus, Yudhisthira Maharaj began to speak in the presence of all other members. Well, this is Indian moral codes. He doesn't say Vedic moral codes, he says Indian moral codes. So this is the proper way of reception in one's home of a veneered person or even an enemy. This is real civilization. This disdain, contempt, absolute disgust is not a good thing. There should be a principle of decorum. Decorum means proper behavior. And this is proper behavior. Yudhisthira was the son of Dharmaraj or Yamaraj. So he is the epitome of good behavior and following strictly all the moral and spiritual codes. Text number 8. Yudhisthira uvacha apisam rata no yusmat paksha chaya sameditam vipadganad visangyadir mochita yat samat krita mochita yat samat rekaha. Translation. Maharaj Yudhisthira said, "My uncle, do you remember how you always protected us, along with our mother, from all sorts of calamities? Your partiality, like the wings of a bird, saved us from poisoning and arson." Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Due to Pandu's death at an early age, his minor children and widow were the object of special care by all the elderly members of the family, especially Bhismadeva and Mahatma Vidura. Vidura was more or less partial to the Pandavas due to their political position, although Dhritarashtra was equally careful for the minor children of Maharaj Pandu. He was one of the intriguing parties who wanted to wash away the descendants of Pandu and replace them by raising his own sons to become rulers of the kingdom. Mahatma Vidura could follow this intrigue of Dhritarashtra and company, and therefore, even though he was a faithful servitor of his eldest brother, Dhritarashtra, he did not like his political ambition for the sake of his own sons. He was therefore very careful about the protection of the Pandavas and their widow mother. Thus he was, so to speak, partial to the Pandavas, preferring them to the sons of Dhritarashtra, although both of them were equally affectionate in his ordinary eyes. He was equally affectionate to both the camps of the nephews, in the sense that he always chastised Duryodhana for his intriguing policy against his cousins. He always criticized the elder brother for his policy of encouragement to his sons, and at the same time he was always alert and giving special protection to the Pandavas. All these different activities of Vidura within the palace politics made him well known as partial to the Pandavas. Maharaj Yudhisthira has referred to the past history of Vidura before his going away from home for a prolonged pilgrim's journey. Maharaj Yudhisthira reminded him that he was equally kind and partial to his grown-up nephews, even after the Battle of Kurukshetra, a great family disaster. Before the Battle of Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra's policy was peaceful annihilation of his nephews. This is called an oxymoron, peaceful annihilation. In other words, you're going to annihilate someone, you're going to kill them, but you're doing it peacefully. It's just like there's another thing called tacit, was it tacit aggression? Huh? Passive aggressive, yeah. Passive aggressive. So someone is aggressive, but they do it in a sneaky way, or through snide remarks and etc. Or through physical gestures. They show their aggression physically, but not verbally sometimes. So, before the Battle of Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra's policy was peaceful annihilation of his nephews, and therefore he ordered Puruchana to build a house at Varanavata, and when the building was finished, Dhritarashtra desired his brother's family to live there for some time. When the Pandavas were going there in the presence of all the members of the royal family, Vidura tactfully gave instructions to the Pandavas about the future plan of Dhritarashtra. This is especially described in the Mahabharata Adiparva 114. He indirectly hinted, a weapon not made of steel or any other material element can be more than sharp to kill an enemy, and he who knows this is never killed. That is to say, he hinted that the party of the Pandavas was being sent to Varanavata to be killed, and thus he warned Yudhishthira to be very careful in their new residential palace. He also gave indications of fire and said that fire cannot extinguish the soul but can annihilate the material body. But one who protects the soul can live. Kunti could not follow such indirect conversations between Maharaj Yudhishthira and Vidura. And thus when she inquired from her son about the purport of the conversation, Yudhishthira replied that from the talks of Vidura it was understood that there was a hint of fire in the house where they were proceeding. Later on, Vidura came in disguise to the Pandavas and informed them that the housekeeper was going to set fire to the house on the 14th night of the waning moon. It was an intrigue of Dhritarashtra that the Pandavas might die all together with their mother. And by his warning, the Pandavas escaped through a tunnel underneath the earth, so that their escape was unknown to Dhritarashtra. So much so that after setting the fire, the Kauravas were so certain of the death of the Pandavas that Dhritarashtra performed the last rites of death with great cheerfulness. How can you perform the last rites with cheerfulness? That's terrible. And during the mourning period, all the members of the palace became overwhelmed with lamentation. But Vidura did not become so, because of his knowledge that the Pandavas were alive somewhere. There are many such instances of calamities, and in each of them Vidura gave protection to the Pandavas on one hand, and on the other hand he tried to restrain his brother Dhritarashtra from such intriguing policies. Therefore he was always partial to the Pandavas, as a bird protects its eggs by its wing. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So this is a wonderful purport. And we see how difficult it is in life sometimes, when someone that you respect is acting in a really abominable way, but doing it so cleverly that the victims of his abominations do not even realize it. And you have to communicate without saying things directly, and you have to be very careful what you say to the protagonist and or the ones that are planning intrigues to annihilate somebody else, a relative. They're all relatives. It's very, very difficult. But Vidura was, because he was a saintly person, he knew how to act with his brother and brother's sons and the Pandavas. But his duty was to protect the Pandavas. It's like when, let's say, the father of a family dies, then usually the relatives feel obliged to help the mother and the children survive after such a death, where they might be without any financial support since the father died. But then the relatives, when they're good relatives, and they are well-wishers, they do everything possible to help the mother and her children, at least until the children are grown. So Vidura was very careful about the protection of the Pandavas and their widow mother. Thus he was, so to speak, partial to the Pandavas, preferring them to the sons of Dhritarashtra, although both of them were equally affectionate in his ordinary eyes. Well, that means there's ordinary eyes and there's higher standards that one maintains. And these are all very subtle things. We can only understand them when we read the purports of pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada. You would never understand all these things simply by reading the verses. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, you must read the purports of Prabhupada. Simply reciting the verses has some benefit, but because it requires the insight and experience of a pure devotee to actually reveal all the nuances in the verses. So many people can read verses without reading the purports and end up with the wrong conclusions. That's why Prabhupada's purports are extremely important. Simply reading Bhagavatam and reading or hearing the verses is not enough to actually understand. Why do you think Prabhupada went to the trouble of writing all these purports? It's because it's necessary for neophyte devotees like us to actually understand deeply what these verses mean. So here you have Dhritarashtra, who's such a clever person. He builds a whole palace out of lac. Lac, L-A-Q-U-E, is a, or L-A-C. L-A-C is a type of resin that's highly flammable, but it looks just like, it can be made to look just like concrete or wood or whatever. So he builds an entire palace out of lac. Imagine all that planning that went into it. And he arranges for this servant to set fire to that once the Pandavas feel comfortable in their new palace. And he invites them, as if he's a well-wishing relative, that they should live in that palace for some time. So we see how, you would say, convoluted in an evil way people can be, where they, and that's why in Bengali there's a saying that a servant who's too much submissive may be a thief, something like that. When you have a person who's always fawning and seemingly, completely surrendered, and always, just like one time, I had a large factory in France, and there was one Portuguese woman that I promoted to be in charge of leading others and filling orders for customers. So after some time, I became suspicious of her. I did not quite know why, but I became suspicious. And then some of the other workers told me that she was probably being favorable to certain customers and giving them extra merchandise for free and pocketing the money. Now in France, the laws are very strict about firing someone. You have to have permission from the work inspector before you fire someone. And sometimes they don't give you permission unless there's a really, really strong reason. You can't say, well, they're working slow, therefore I'm going to fire them. That doesn't work in France. You have to have a really strong reason. So I thought, okay, we're pretty sure she's doing this, so let's set a trap for her. So we let her get away with it for about a month, but we were watching her very carefully. I mean, she didn't realize we were watching her, but we were watching her very carefully. And then we understood who she was giving the extra merchandise to and how she was doing it. So then one of the favorite customers came, and she personally took care of them, and she personally carried the merchandise out to the car of the customer, and we were very carefully watching her. And then we came out and we caught her, right? And then we counted the merchandise, and she had only invoiced not even half of it, right? And then we got the customer to admit that she was receiving extra merchandise that she was paying. So the worker. So the lady became so embarrassed, she just walked out and quit because she was caught red-handed, right? She didn't complain to the work inspector or anything. She was so embarrassed, and she didn't have anything to say. But this lady would always tell me, oh, please don't worry, I'll take care of everything. You don't have to come all the time, and you don't have to do this, and you don't have to do that. I'll take care of everything. But the whole thing was simply a show, and she was extremely clever. And we used to invite her and her husband to our house to have dinner, and we would treat them with great respect. And here she was doing this. I mean, it's unbelievable. But that's material life. It's very, very dangerous. And here, this is even worse, with Dhritarashtra planning to kill Kunti and the 5 boys, her sons. It's unbelievable that he would do such a thing. And all the time he's acting as a well-wisher, as a dear uncle, as the protector of the family. It's unbelievable. And what's even more unbelievable, after the Battle of Kurukshetra, all the sons of Dhritarashtra were killed by the Pandavas. And Dhritarashtra is still in the palace in Hastinapur, and they're taking care of him and the mother, Gandhari. And both of them knew what they were doing. And it's embarrassing. And Vidura, when he comes back, he tells Dhritarashtra, what are you doing? After all of this, and you're living under the protection of Yudhisthira and the Pandavas, how can you do that? You should immediately leave and prepare yourself to die. It was unbelievable that they could just stand there and be supported by the Pandavas and protected by them after what they did. So this is, if you understand the Mahabharata, you'll understand how dark some parts of life can be and how dark some people can be, and still not be apologetic. It's unbelievable. But that's unfortunately the perverted human nature. As soon as there's a strong material desire, people will even kill their own relatives that they're supposed to protect. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Any questions? Okay, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.